On October 20th, 1967, Bob Gimlin and Roger Patterson captured the clearest footage of Bigfoot to come out so far. Over half a century later, debates still rage on regarding the legitimacy of the film. I'm firmly in the camp of it being the genuine article. Why? Because, during that over half a century, no one has produced a suit that looks anything like the creature in the Patty film. Let's take a look at some of the suits that have been used in TV and film since the video came out. There are countless Sasquatch films out there, but since many are either B-movies with very low budgets for costumes and suits that look even less realistic, or they feature a CGI creature, I'm only covering these four. First, we have the $6 Million Man episode, The Secret of Bigfoot, from 1976. Now, I won't spend too much time on this one because the differences are pretty night and day. The face doesn't look like something real, the fur doesn't resemble what a real animal's fur would, and there's just no muscle definition like there is in the Patty film. Fun fact though, the footprints and plaster casts used in the episode came from real footprints from the man in the suit, shoe size 24, Andre the Giant. Next up is Harry and the Hendersons from 1987. The budget for this movie was $10 million, around $23 million in 2021. I bring this up because, obviously, it would have higher production values when it comes to costumes than, say, a television show episode or other movies. Now, since the film was a comedy, it makes sense their Sasquatch would look pretty cartoonish. Still doesn't look like Patty. It looks more rubbery in the face and feet, its fur covers up any detail in the body, and it lacks the sheer size that Patty has in terms of height and muscularity. You have to remember, it's pretty consistent across reports that when it comes to Bigfoot, like humans, men are taller and heavier. Next is the movie Exists from 2014. This one is of the found footage genre, but what is found in that footage doesn't resemble anything in the Patty film. The suit is very hairy to hide the lack of details in terms of muscle movement. The hair covering up the muscles is too uniform for an actual biological creature that would be living in the wilderness, realistically. And overall, the animal looks more like a man in a gorilla costume rather than the American Ape Man. Our final contender is Big Legend from 2018. The creature isn't ever really shown in full detail, which is likely by design. It is very difficult, if not impossible, to make a realistic-looking Bigfoot suit. From what we can see, it's very shaggy, similar to descriptions of the Missouri Monster, and its face is sorta similar to a jack-o'-lantern, but not similar to a human or a gorilla's. As far as size goes, it seems to be unusually small for a Sasquatch. Not really towering over its human compatriots, and with human-like limb proportions rather than the long gorilla-like arms shown in the Patty film. Now, keep in mind, I've only been talking about the appearance of these suits versus the Patty film. If you get into the impossibility of its gait for a human to replicate, or how a man in a suit wouldn't be able to bend at the elbow like Patty did, accusations of the Bluff Creek footage being a hoax become even weaker. When Patterson and Gimlin set out that day to film a Bigfoot movie, there's no doubt in my mind they got their wish, just in a way they never could have imagined.